Good afternoon, students and teachers and RV staff and some parents from our dorm. It's very nice to have all of you here celebrating Chinese Spring Festival. For us, Chinese Spring Festival is a time where we spend with our families back in China, but this year we are so far away from them that we can only celebrate with them through internet. But we are lucky that have you, all of you, as our family celebrating this event with us here. So we are going to start off with Danny introducing the Shadow Puppet for us, and then we're going to have the Shadow Puppet show from middle school.
I'm going to introduce the history of shadow puppetry. More than 2,000 years ago, a favorite concubine of Emperor Wu of the Han Dynasty died of illness. The emperor missed her so much that he lost his desire to reign. One day, a minister happened to see children playing with dolls where the shadows on the floor were vivid. Inspired by this scene, the smart minister hatched an idea. He made a cotton puppet of the concubine and painted it. As night fell, he invited the emperor to watch a real illuminated puppet show behind the curtain. The emperor was delighted and became a shadow puppet fan. The story recorded in the official history book is believed to be the origin of shadow puppetry. Shadow puppets were first made of paper sculpture, and later from the hides of donkeys or oxen. That's why their Chinese name is Piyin, which means shadows of hides. Shadow puppetry was very popular during the Tang and Song dynasties in many parts of China. Shadow puppetry was also related to politics in Beijing. For example, during the reign of Emperor Kangxi, this folk art was so popular that there were 8 generously paid puppeteers in one prince's mansion. When the Manchu rulers spread their rules to various parts of China, they brought the puppet show with them to make up for the fact that they could not appreciate local entertainment due to the language barrier. From 1796 to 1800, the government forbade the public showing of puppet shows to prevent the spreading of peasant uprising at the time. It was not until 1821 that shadow puppet shows gained some momentum. Today, shadow puppetry shows face extinction, like other traditional art forms such as melodrama. Let's welcome middle school student to perform the shadow puppet show for us. It's called The Story of Chinese Zodiac.
In ancient China, people had no way of keeping track of the years, so they created the Chinese zodiac system. They used 12 animals as the 12 signs: the rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. But how were the 12 chosen? And why is a rat first among the dozen? All of the answers lie in this fascinating legend. In the old days, cat and rat were best friends. They played and ate together, passing the days in blissful joy. One day, the heavenly god said to the earth god, "I think we should find a way to keep track of time. Otherwise, it will get very inconvenient. I'm planning to hold a race. The first 12 animals to cross the river will be the signs in the zodiac calendar." So the earth god gathered all of the animals and announced the details of the big race. The animals chattered excitedly. Everyone wanted to join the race. The worried cat said, "But I'm so afraid of water. I'll never reach a finish line." Just then, the ox grumbled, "Why, with my poor eyesight, I can't even begin." The rat heard this and quickly proposed, "Uncle Ox, can we sit upon your back and guide you across the river together?" Ox considered the idea and agreed. Early before dawn on race day, the cat and rat, upon the ox's back, plunged into the river and were off. When they swam to the middle of the river, the cat glanced behind and laughed at all the others. "They haven't even left the shore. I'm going to win this race for sure." Before the cat had even finished speaking, the rat stole up from behind and gave a sudden mighty shove. Splash! The cat fell face first into the water. Standing atop the ox, little rat roared with laughter. "Sorry, brother cat. Have a nice swim. It was my idea, so first place should be mine." Old Ox paddled straight ahead, not seeing the fight. Just as he finally reached shore, Rat jumped off and raced to the finish line, he gleefully saying, A rat's body may be small, but we're as clever as the mountains are tall. This is why I've beaten them all. Yahoo! Meanwhile, all the others were struggling across the river toward the shore. The ox quickened his pace and settled for second place. Tiger sprung forward, his fur soaking wet, and behind him was Rabbit, hopping his best. Dragon stuck out his head from the clouds, roaring, "Here I am!" The horse was about to finish the race, with the goat following closely behind him. But suddenly, from under their hooves, rushed out the snake. The snake slipped ahead with a satisfied hiss. Then monkey, rooster, and dog tumbled across the finish line, right behind the goat. The race was coming to an end. The heavenly God came down to see who had won. He counted them. Rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, and dog. Huh? There are only 11. We're one short. At that very moment, Pig trotted in with a snort. "I'm starving." All the winning animals were lined up when the dripping cat rushed in shouting, "What place am I?" The heavenly God said, "I'm sorry, but you're too late. All the places have been filled." The cat went mad. He vowed, "You dirty rat, I shall have no mercy for you." From that day on, the rat and the cat were sworn enemies. This is why the rat always hides during the day, coming out only at night, because his old enemy, the cat, fills him with fright. The end.
So most people know that all the different Chinese are separated into animals, and that works the same as the 12 zodiacs we have in Western countries. And the year we are still in is the dragon year, but soon after tomorrow, I think it will be the snake year. And we have Paul from freshman year will introduce us about the Chinese zodiacs.
The Chinese zodiac has a long and ancient history. It is almost 2 centuries old. Chinese zodiac has 12 kinds of animals. They are dragon, They are mouse, cow, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, sheep, monkey, chicken, dog, and pig. There is an old story about the Chinese zodiac. Long ago, a god wanted to choose 12 animals to take turns on duty to protect China. He conducted a race, and the first 12 to arrive won the chance to be the guardians. Many animals ran the race, and they played many tricks to get ahead of one another. These 12 animals won, and somehow the mouse came in first. So these 12 animals are the winner. Some old plans used them to be the totem. Last year was the dragon year. The dragon is the most special one of the 12 animals, because no one has seen a dragon. China has many kinds of dragons. Some protect the sea, some protect the sky, and some dragon can be a person and keeps an eye on society. We even call the king's clothes the dragon clothes. And every year has a zodiac. For example, like snake year is 2013, 2001, 1989, 1977. So if you are born in these years, then your zodiac is the same as this year's zodiac. We call that in Chinese 本命年. So next 本命年 is 12 years later, and you will get good luck at that year, and every 12 years. Okay, everybody who was born in 2001, 1989, 1977, and 1965, please stand up.
Be 12 years old, right? Oh, they're upstairs. Ready to go to school?
That's 6th grade.
Sixth grade.
Okay. congratulations, you will get good luck at this year. This year is the snake year. Some people think the snake is the dragon's relative. Some people think they are all enemies. And in North China, the snake is a sign of royal family. So these two animals are very secret in ancient China. Thank you.
In China, we have this old saying that food is the most important thing in our life, and I believe so, yeah. In different festivals, we always have different food, and in Spring Festivals, we prepare food for a long time, and at last, we do enjoy it. Now we have Jessica from sophomore year and Tao from junior year to introduce us about the food that we would have during the Spring Festival.
Hi, I'm Jessica. Chinese New Year foods are very important to Chinese people. All family members come together to eat at this time. Chinese New Year foods are not only delicious, but it is traditional to eat certain foods over the festival. Chinese dumplings, fish, and niangao are usually seen as delicious and eaten at this time. In Chinese, fish sounds like saying more. Chinese people always like saying more money and at the end of the year because they think if they say more, they can make more in the next year. In Chinese, niangao sounds like getting higher year by year. In Chinese people's mind, the higher you are, the more prosperous your business is. However, the most popular food is dumpling. Next, we will introduce dumplings clearly to you.
Jiazi, the traditional Chinese dumpling, is one of the major foods eaten during the Spring Festival and year-round in northern China. It can consist of many different fillings inside its silly-little piece of dough, so you can choose beef, pork, shrimp, or other meat, and some vegetables as you want to make your unique dumplings. And it's also interesting to taste the three kinds of dumplings cooked in different ways: boiled, steamed, and pan-fried. And if you accidentally taste dumplings, you will prepare to serve dumplings in cafeteria tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Please come and join us. Now, let's talk more about the Chinese dumplings. The history of the Zhao dumplings dates back to the Northern Song Dynasty. During this time, merchants in Chengdu distributed one of the earliest known kinds of paper money. The currency was called Jiaozi. With the high circulation of the currency, the local government of Chengdu established the earliest administrative and savings bank known as the Office of Jiaozi. The word Jiaozi then began to be used as Jonathan money. And in ancient China, Jiaozi dumplings looked like shell-shaped gold and silver ingots known as yuanbao, which was used as another currency before the use of Jiaozi paper money. So eating dumplings during the New Year is a metaphor for eating money. When people eat Jiaozi dumplings during the New Year celebration, they hope that it will bring prosperity and good luck for the forthcoming year. It's really a romantic thing to eat dumplings for good luck, isn't it? And here's a video of it. So,
Jimmy from junior year is related to an organization in China somehow, and his friend works for that organization, and his friend is a teacher there. So he is now want to introduce this group and what they are doing here.
Thank you, guys. Usually it's fine that was a creative student, and it get a lot of support from the company and many different areas in China. And there are several programs organized by these funds each year, and the main one is goes into the poorest area in China to educate the primary school students there. Volunteers who go there are given 3 days training to learn how to teach classes. Also, after school group of 4 people will have a visit to the poorest student home and give them each 200 RMB, which is $36, to make sure that their children are able to go to school for the next year. And that money comes from fundraising, which is organized by Yozu. Anyone can join them, and so I decided to go there this coming summer as a teacher for 2 weeks. Last year, one of my friends invited me to join the program with him, and he said that this program is to help the students in the poorest area in China. When I heard that, I felt interested in it because I can be the teacher there, and also I felt extremely sorry about that student there. My friend described them to me. He told me that students are so poor that they have to raise a family at the same age of studying. So a lot of them decide to get a job rather than study. But if they do so, they might get some temporary stability for their family, but they also destroy their future because they don't even know anything about the outside world. And will stay poor like their dad generation. And we don't want this happen, and work hard to try to change their life. It is hard for them and hard for us to change their fate, helping them keep studying while they walk through several dangerous sand mountains in gaudy shoes. Although they cannot pay the electricity, so they have to finish their homework through the moonlight and by candlelight. They really need knowledge to change their lives. And I'm willing to help them, and I'm going there this summer to help them, and I need your help. I get some bracelet made by these kids and represent the thankful and the wish to us of them. And I'd like to sell them for a small donation tomorrow in the dining hall. And all this money will go towards helping the poorest people there. Thank you. And also, I'm glad that my parents and my sister are here to celebrate New Year with me.
Now we are going to have our upper school dancers performing a traditional Chinese dance to us. And they are Lindsay, Mary, with Abby, Brianna, and Maddie. We are experiencing some difficulty with our Wi-Fi down here. It would be nice if the ones who carries a phone or an iPad with them could turn off their Wi-Fi, please. Thank you. Okay, so Chinese Spring Festival isn't just one day. It's more of like a kind of great Christmas. It goes for 15 days instead of just one day. And through those 15 days, we do different things every single day. Through preparations all the way till the day we enjoy our last day of the year with all the new day of the year. And now we have Vincent and Lester introducing what we will do through these 15 days.
Thank you. Our ancestors have celebrated this festival for 4,000 years. Now Lester and I would like to share with everyone something about the origin of Spring Festival and how it is still celebrated today. One day around 2000 BC, Emperor Shun ascended the throne. He began his reign by worshiping heaven and earth with his subordinates. Hence, people regard this day as the first day of the new year. And gradually, this period of time became the Spring Festival that we know today. Before the Spring Festival, we go out and buy some special purchases, and on the night before the New Year, we won't go to sleep. Because our family will come together and watch a special Spring Festival TV show for the whole night. You might worry, why don't Chinese people go to bed for the whole night? That's because there are scary legends that was very popular at that time.
According to Chinese mythology, a Nian is a monster that lived and switch to Nestor. This is a monster that lives under the sea or in the mountains. Once each spring or around the Chinese New Year, it comes out of hiding to attack people and prefer children. Weakness of the Nian include be sensitivity to the noise and fear of the color red. The Chinese line dance is known to have originated from the legend of the Nian. There are creative songs which can help us to understand the legend of the Nian. Switch to next page.
And this monster named Nian, he had a monster frown and he gobbled up the town. The monster says to you, "Ooh, I wanna eat you." Monster eat the town. All the people here around the city, ooh, we're all afraid of you. There's a name, an older man. He wants to save the town, turn those frowns upside down. He tells me, do what you can. Grab a tiger or a bear, leave the humans over there. What do you do when a monster says to you, "Boo, I wanna eat you"? If the monster's named Nian, find a brave old man who says, "Boo, I'm not afraid of you." The old man says to the people, Nian hates the color red and loud noises overhead. So these two things on New Year's Eve will keep Nian at bay. Now I'm taking him away. What do you do when a monster says to you, "Boo, I wanna eat you"? You should shoot off firecrackers to scare off your attacker and say, "Boo, I'm not afraid of you." So happy New Year, now we have no fear. Hey, boo, I'm not afraid of you.
In thousands of years of Chinese history, there are some customs about the Spring Festival that never change. For example, people will clean their house to welcome the first coming Spring Festival. They believe they can destroy the old and establish the new wish through this way. So every family is filled with joy and they get together and wish away the troubles of the previous year. Thanks.
Yeah, it seems everything we mentioned is pretty far from the lifestyle nowadays. Yes, we have lots of culture coming during the 4,000 years of history. Red envelopes are another timeless custom of the Spring Festival. When people visit their relatives, the elder will prepare gift money for the younger generation. According to a Chinese Asian legend, the kids who receive red envelope can spend a year in peace. This is a folk legend that the kids can use their gift money to bribe the monster, which called Nian, that's me, to get peace. In the real life, the kids often use the money to get candy, fireworks, or something they can enjoy during the festival. And now Damon will show us how the fireworks work.
Hello everyone, that is the first time for me to meet you, to see you. Oh no, I'm just kidding. And today I will introduce the firecracker for you guys. Firecracker is a very important thing in China, especially for Spring Festival, and we use them to celebrate our holiday. And obviously, Chinese invented fireworks 2,000 years ago. Actually, at the beginning, we are very afraid of something like ghosts or monsters, because they are evil. So we expel them by setting the fireworks. But in modern day, we start to celebrate a wedding or some main holidays with the fireworks. And besides, for going to see the fireworks, you do not need to go to the certain place. You can see them everywhere during the Spring Festival in China, and whatever in the morning or at night. Now I want to show you a video about the fireworks. Beijing. You guys want to see the end of the video? Don't stop the video, please. That is what I want you guys to see here. And like Vincent and Lester said, there's an Asian tale long ago, a monster named Ear, and which is very feared and cruel. And I found 2 pictures of it. Can you show? Not this. Oh, that, here we go. It's more beautiful, right? And hopefully, please do not use the firework to shoot somebody for fun. Thank you.
more and more popular. We have more people studying Chinese everywhere, every single year. And now we have 5th grade Mandarin class from Mrs. Gosi. They will do a performance for us. Thank you for great Mandarin class. Apart from all the traditions that we practice now during spring festivals, we would also always put on some decorations on the doors or inside the house. Those decorations have been passed on through generations to generations, and it has been that for almost 3,000 years. And now we have Edward introducing the paper cuttings and the banners for us.
Thank you, guys. I posed some paper cut outside and here Jimmy shows some. And first of all, if I mention paper cut, maybe the first thing that comes to my mind is like a finger cut by a piece of paper. But what I'm trying to introduce is a very traditional Chinese decoration. And paper cut is also called jianzhi. It's the first type of paper cutting design since paper was invented by Cai Lun in the Eastern Han Dynasty in China. The art from later spread to other parts of the world with different regions adopting their own cover styles. Because the cutouts also used to decorate doors and windows, so they are also sometimes referenced to Chuanghua, means the middle flower. And usually we buy a lot of paper cuts before the Spring Festival. And their color should be red, just why emphasizing red, because they bring us good luck. And also the symbol of the paper cut sometimes means good luck. And we put them upside down because in Chinese the pronunciation of upside down means the color. So that means luck is coming. And besides that, during the Spring Festival, we usually write a lucky sentence on the Chinese banner and put them on both sides of the doors and also on the top of it. And they are like the poems, like songs. And we believe that the banners on the door will bring us good luck. And we usually buy the banners from the people who make them on the side of the street because they make it really traditional. And if you have a really good handwriting, you can make it yourself. And about the Chinese banner, it is very important to our lives. We can see it everywhere in the street, on the side of doors, or inside our house. And they are the symbols of luck. We believe they can make our lives better. Thank you, guys. And Jimmy will show you this on the stage.
As we've already mentioned that the Spring Festival goes for 15 days, and after the first 14 days, on the last day we have the Lantern Festival, which is another festival, which signals the end of the Chinese Spring Festival, and it also signals that the new year has started. And we have Cindy from sophomore year, which did some research on the Lantern Festival, and she will talk about the Lantern Festival to us.
Lantern Festival is an important part of the Spring Festival and marks the official end of the long holiday. The Lantern Festival falls on the 15th day of the first lunar month. It is first full moon of the new year, symbolizing perfection. Several days before the Lantern Festival, people begin to make lanterns. Not many people just buy them. Lanterns are made in the shape of different animals, vegetables, fruits, and many other things. While making lanterns, people usually write riddles on lanterns. On the eve of the Lantern Festival, all the lanterns are hung up. On the Lantern Festival, people go outside to have a look at the lanterns and guess the riddles on the lanterns. Also, you can see some wonderful folk performances, dragon dance, lumen dance, and so on. They are parts of traditional activities of the Lantern Festival.
The last thing that we're going to introduce to you today is something called the Beijing Opera. It's a form of opera which is very famous in China. And Frank, who is very in love with this opera, is going to tell us something more about this opera.
Thanks guys, I feel nervous. Today I want to introduce the Beijing Opera. In China, we have lots of special things, and we have lots of important cultural heritage. I'm from Beijing, the capital of China. In my hometown, we have the most famous traditional event, Beijing Opera. In 1790, Qing Dynasty Emperor Qianlong began the first opera group which grew into Beijing Opera. There are 4 main roles in Beijing Opera. The Sheng, which is lead male role. The Dan, which is any female role. The Jing, which is a role for a strong male character. The Jing always has a painted face. The last is the Chou, which is the clown role. The belief is that the clown's combination of laughter and ugliness can drive any evil spirit. And when we have the show, we need mask to cover. This one, the up one is have the mask to cover our face. Yeah, and different masks have different color. Red, white, blue, black, gold, and silver are the most common. The mask can show the personal characteristic, whether they are good or evil, and help us judge the beauty and ugliness. Red means brave and upright, which means two-faced. Blue means just average, normal. Black means evil, and gold and silver are usually very magical. If you're going to visit China, I really recommend you to visit to see this show. And you can feel that. I think it's really amazing. And that's all. Are you interested in the Beijing Opera? Yeah!
The 7th grade Mandarin class would also like to show their passion about what they've learned in Chinese this year. And now they're going to sing a Chinese number song to us. Now we are going to have our last performance for today, and it's going to be Yushi from South Korea. She will be playing a famous piece from China on the piano as well. Thank you.